Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for our Village of Alsip board meeting. Today is June 2nd, 2025, and we'll call this meeting in order at 7:30 p.m. Can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Dalzell?
Here.
Trustee McLaughlin? Here. Trustee Murphy is absent. Trustee Peretta?
Here.
Trustee Cahill? Here. Trustee Love?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we'll start off with our officer reports. I'll start with mine. Not sure if I did last week. Did I bring up the grant that we were awarded? Yeah. I didn't have it on the agenda, I don't think.
For the sidewalks?
Yeah.
No, we read about it in the paper.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So the Village of Alsip was fortunate to be one of 66 communities across the state of Illinois to receive a Rebuild Illinois grant for more sidewalks in neighborhoods that didn't have any. And I would like to commend our Public Work Superintendent Mike Frater. Mike, thanks for getting that together with our engineer, Jeff Agan, Erica O'Donnell, our office supervisor, and my assistant, Becky Smith. We're great with trying to assemble all that. But we got one of the top grants for $3 million to improve the safety of safe passage in some communities that don't have sidewalks at this time. So both sides of the street might not get them, but at least one side of the street may. And Mike, that was our intent, correct? So we'll look at that. Not even sure when it's going to take place. And,
The state, I would say it's going to be 27, 28.
exactly. It's a couple years out, that's for sure. Yeah. But nice to know, and we want to thank State Senator Bill Cunningham for helping us with that grant, too. Bill took the lead on that. So thank you very much to everybody that was involved in helping with that grant. Next, we have our clerk's report. Clerk Harding.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the presentation and approval of the May 19th, 2025 board meeting minutes and presentation and approval of the April 2025 motor fuel tax allotment in the amount of $68,900 even. And that was all I had, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Next, we have our attorney's report. We have Mike Kankar with us. Mike?
No report, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Our engineer is absent. Mike, you've got his report?
Yes. So just had a few updates. First one's the fiscal year 2026 roadway maintenance program. Project is currently out for bid. Bid opening is scheduled for next Monday's June 9th committee meeting, with the project award up for consideration at the June 16th village board meeting. Next is the 2025 sanitary sewer smoke testing. Most of the field work is about half complete. 65 defects have been found so far. Field work should be completed early next week, weather permitting. Next is the IDOT call for projects. Last week, the village worked with Robinson Engineering and submitted 2 grant applications requesting $800,000 in funding for each of 2 resurfacing projects within the village. The first one being the David Estates subdivision area, and then the second Lane Elementary School area. IDOT is expected to announce the award of funds in August 2025, if not sooner. And then finally, the bicycle pedestrian plan. Epstein will be presenting their findings associated with the bicycle and pedestrian plan at next week's June 9th committee meeting. And that's all he has.
And Mike, what's the name of the grant that we put in for those streets?
That was the... you know what? It strikes me right now. I'm sorry.
All right. Just let me know. So
That's so many out there.
I like to put it on my calendar so we can track those all the time.
Yeah.
Too. Okay. All right. Thank you. Next, we have the public forum. Did anyone in the audience wish to address the board tonight? Ma'am? Oh. Come on up.
Good evening.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hello. A couple of things. Hi. A couple of things that I wanted to address the forum with tonight. I stay at Ronnie Tree Townhomes, 12760 South Kenneth, and behind the units there that separates the church that's in that area from the buildings. There's a ditch and lots of trees and branches, and they're beginning to hang to the owners' cars. So I've been in that area for like 20 years, and I've never seen the village actually come and cut those branches. So I'm just curious as to whose responsibility is that? It's
I'm not sure, Mike, can you speak to that? As Public Work Director.
So I believe that that area belongs to the MWRD, Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. I can follow up with them tomorrow.
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because I know a lot of the homeowners over there, like literally today, a lot of the branches are like pretty close to their cars, and when it rains and that wind is blowing, you get a little concerned that they're going to break off
Yeah.
on someone's car. So,
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely look to get that resolved.
okay,
Mike,
great. And the other thing,
Oh, no, I was going to say, Mike, one of those recent meetings that we were at with the watershed, MWRD has been promoting their new portal yet, too, that they'll come out and get maintenance work done with that. So if you don't get a physical person, let me know if
Right.
you need to resort to the
Yeah,
portal.
I'll reach out to, confirm that that is their area of maintenance, and if not, then we'll look to get in there and get something done.
Okay.
okay, great. And secondly, again, Ronnie Tree, the garbage trucks, we've had our parking lot repaired quite a few times, and we're having an issue with the trucks are coming into the parking lot.
Mhm.
They're breaking, like damaging the
The
parking lot
asphalt,
area. Yeah, and they're extremely heavy, and we're in repair. We're in need of a repair right now. We've repaired the parking lot maybe 3 or
Right.
4 times. Yeah. So I don't know if that's something that someone has.
Is your can all the way at the back? Like,
It
I know
is.
not all the buildings. Will
Some are in the
truck fit
front.
through there? Yeah.
Yes, and I know there was some years ago when we repaired the parking lot.
Right.
And we actually moved it to the front, not knowing that, that was not, it was not allowed
Well-
from the village, but, and the garbage truck actually moved it back.
Right, and what we were doing, ma'am, is when the cans come up to the front, is part of the reason, well, we always had this ordinance in our books, but it wasn't being enforced more, so now we are. When you get a can that's that visual, or even if it's not, anything with more than 3 units, we require those garbage corrals, like a fence to go around it, to kind of contain everything. But unfortunately, and private property, like what you're talking about,
Yes.
that's going to be your HOA that's going to have to address that with the truck getting back there.
Okay.
All right?
So, I mean, that's just going to be on us to have to continuously repair the parking lot?
Yes, unfortunately, yes. Unless, maybe when they go to resurface that, unless they want to take a little more up and give you a little more rock or something underneath that thing, I mean,
Yeah,
that's...
that's a higher cost.
Huh?
I've already gotten some estimates on that, and the cost is higher with deeper,
I know.
if they go any deeper into the surface,
Yeah.
it's going to cost us more. So so the village doesn't like.
No, because it's on private property. So your homeowner association will have to look at that. And maybe just as an alternative, maybe consider concrete just for that, whatever part's getting weak, you got to get
It's
the
when they're
best.
pulling in. Like right now, we have a hole. We have a hole in the parking lot right
Really?
now from the truck hitting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if that's something that, the village would
No, if it was
actually
on the
help
street
cover,
side,
or-
certainly we'd help you with that, but anything beyond the curb would be the homeowner association.
Gotcha.
All right?
Okay, but other than that, the branches would be a great help.
Yeah, Mike's going to reach out and talk to them. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Come on up, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello. Joe Lindsay. I've lived in the village since '74, and thankfully, Alsip residents don't seem to lose their pets as much as other surrounding towns, and that's a good thing. I do have a question regarding the times when residents do call non-emergency about lost dogs that they find. Is there a protocol that is followed when these calls are received? I mean, I could go on and then it could
Sure. You know what?
later.
Lieutenant, can I ask you to respond to that? Is there a protocol when folks call about lost or stray dogs and stuff like that after hours?
Either a community service officer or an officer.
Well, okay. I follow Facebook lost and found pages and neighborhood pages, and there have been times when I see a post where the resident states that they were told that there's nothing the police can do and are told to let the dog go. Other times, a community officer or a police officer will show up, but state they cannot take the dog, leaving it up to the resident to deal with it. I've gone to scan dogs for microchips when I see posts about it, and a few have been chipped and been reunited, but when they're not chipped,
Right.
it's a problem. And I have two examples of what residents have faced when finding stray dogs. On December 27, 2024, an Alsip resident found an injured dog laying against the guardrail on the Calsac Bridge in Alsip. Alsip responded to the call, helped get the dog, probably 85 to 90-pound dog, off of the curb, but told the resident they were going to take him and leave him in the Chick-fil-A parking lot. And I have a screenshot of that, by that resident stating that. I was just wondering why they would, take this dog injured and leave him alone. I mean, so anyway.
Right.
Cook County Animal Control was notified, and the dog was taken to the ER vet. Then he was transferred to South Suburban Humane Society, where he healed from a fractured humerus after a few weeks. He then went to rescue, determined to rise in Mokina, where he's awaiting adoption. That was a happy ending.
Right.
More recent, on April 27th, there was a dog, a Belgian Malinois, that was seen roaming in Alsip. First reported near 115th and Pulaski, then near the McDonald's, eventually making his way into a yard on Fay Lane. Alsip non-emergency was called, and the resident was told nothing could be done, and the dog should just be let loose out of the yard. I was messaged by a friend because they know I check for microchips, and I went to the home to see if I could scan the dog. But the dog was very skittish and afraid, so I didn't want to approach him, not knowing how he would react. A neighbor of the resident also agreed that this dog should not just be let loose in the neighborhood. He placed a call, I believe, to you. I don't know if you remember that.
I think we did get a resolve out of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He did place a call, and Alsip PD responded, but they couldn't secure the dog safely as the dog was aggressively biting at the catch pole. Finally, Cook County Animal Control was contacted. The animal control officer had to use a trap to secure this dog. His name was David. He was transported to South Suburban Humane Society, where the staff there couldn't even approach him for 2 days. Eventually, he was assessed and deemed as aggressive and unadoptable, and he was behavior euthanized.
Mm-hmm.
So my question, what if this dog had been left to roam in the neighborhood like dispatch told resident to do? That could have been pretty dangerous to the community. So my question is, what can Alsip residents expect when calling about a stray dog they have found? Cook County told me that Alsip had been given a crate and supplies to hold the dog.
Right.
So anyway.
Lieutenant, can I ask you to speak to that?
Sure.
Anything you can add to that, I'm saying, about responding to the lost dogs?
We weren't given any supplies, so I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
Cook County Animal Control.
So I do know when it comes to Cook County Animal Control, I've dealt with them a few times because we've tried to help some dogs. We've actually, right when Dan Tribin left here about a year ago, remember somebody chained a dog to the pump station? And that I'm glad Cook County Animal Control was able to help with one or two of those situations, because typically when those things happen, they'll tell me, hey, Mayor, we'll come get the dog, but it's $150 a day to care for that dog until somebody rescues it and stuff, and it could be whenever and stuff yet too. And a lot of the, if I'm correct, Lieutenant, I think a lot of the shelters right now too, you have to have agreements with these folks, right? And,
And a lot of times there's people and
They're all
I agree.
overflowing
I
right
Yeah.
now.
volunteered at South Suburban for 6 years now. I
Yeah.
know shelters are act.
Yeah.
You do usually have to have a contract. But my point is, it's for them, people to be told to release dogs into the neighborhoods, and this dog was aggressive.
dispatch telling you that, or a police officer?
I don't know, when I got to the home to try to scan the dog, the person that had the dog in their yard said that they were told. I don't know if they called non-emergency, talked to dispatch, or what. So,
For temporary purposes, we do have like an indoor and an outdoor holding facility for dogs, even cats, I guess, if there had to be. But as far as responding to what you're asking about, I need a little more, if you would, please, leave me your number, and I'll get back with you tomorrow or the next day. Let me talk with the chief about that and find out, I'll give you some more clarity to how we can respond to that
I
and
mean, my
stuff,
concern
too.
was
We
the
do all
dog
chip readers too.
could have been, no, I know you do. I've actually met some of the community officers, and I've been gone to them, because I have, but the point was this dog was dangerous,
Yeah.
and to be told, just let it go,
No,
then...
I would agree with you, that wouldn't, you're not helping the situation.
If that dog would have been loose in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
and somebody, a kid or another animal,
If you would, Ms. Lozak, Chief, do you got that sign-in board? Could you leave your number and everything, and I'll give you a buzz the next day or so, okay? Sure. Anybody else want to address, sir, come on up.
Hi, my name's John Glenn. I live by the LA Fitness parking lot. It's kind of in our backyard.
Mhm.
And you got all them trucks parked in there. Do you know why? Even with all the signs that say no semi-truck parking, you know why they're allowed to park in a residential surrounding area?
I do not. And I tell you, I mean, I can look into it for you, John, but I'm not sure if those are staging for like Monday morning deliveries at the store. I'm not sure.
No.
I can't speak to it. I mean, we don't, I'm just saying, I myself, I don't necessarily patrol the park. And I live on, right behind there too. I'm on Laverne right there. So,
It's got nothing to do with Home Depot. Those trucks come in, they deliver their
Okay.
goods, and they're gone.
okay,
These guys come in at night or in the afternoon. There's one running right now. Got an example.
okay,
Last weekend, on Memorial Weekend, I had to listen to a truck running Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
okay.
An illegally parked semi-truck. And they're all in there. They all come in there to park because it's free. It's by the expressway. And they feel safe there because there's always people around there.
I'm agreeing with you. That's not what the intent of that is at all. John,
Can't they go like in Central Avenue there where there's no residential?
I
You know what I mean?
I mean, they could, but that, like you're talking about the big truck depots back there and stuff like that, I mean, you probably got to be an associate of them of some type, but, John, do me a favor, can you do the same thing? Leave me your number, and let me follow up tomorrow with the building commissioner.
Mayor, we started writing tickets there this morning.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear
Started
you.
writing tickets there this
Oh,
morning.
you did? Oh, okay, I didn't know.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
So the police are ticketing them, I didn't know that, we
I drove
don't
by there
necessarily,
just now, coming here. He's been running all afternoon. Can't sit in my backyard. Now I got to listen all night.
yeah.
You get a call that there's a guy roaming around there. It's probably going to be me because I'm going to shut him off.
Yeah,
Hey, don't
I'm
do
not
that.
going to listen to that
Please
thing.
call us. Please call us before you do anything.
Okay.
yeah, John, if that's,
You can't sleep. It wakes you up at night.
no, I agree with you. If that's the case, let them know, and,
Not a loud sound.
yeah,
It's a real low rumble.
Right.
Like a bass, like these cars. It's just like that. And you hear it through the whole house. You can't sit outside.
Because of the smell.
Oh, one more thing.
yeah, go ahead.
There's 3 entrances to that parking lot. Only one of them has the unauthorized parking. You know, trucks will be towed.
Yeah.
And it gives you you can use a credit card or cash, no checks. That's the only thing they won't park around is those signs. And the other 2 entrances do not have those signs. So we need at least 2 more signs on the entrances to that parking lot
Okay.
off of Cicero Avenue.
I think the reason I want to get building commissioner involved is, first off, we can talk to the proprietor of the LA Fitness property and have him take responsibility for it and let him know that I don't know if they even know that's what's taking place.
Well, they have a sign by their parking,
Yeah.
by their specific parking lot in LA Fitness.
Yeah,
So does Home Depot, but there's a vacant lot between LA Fitness and Home Depot.
okay,
And there's a light pole there with no sign on it. They all park around that light pole.
all right.
And now they're running their refrigerated trailers. Oh, they'll come in and shut their truck off Oh, yeah, we shut our trunk off. Yeah, but the refrigerated trailer, oh, that is horrible.
Gotcha. John, thanks for letting us know about that. Like I said, it's not really my position to do that. Lieutenant, thanks for, at least for ticketing, but let's monitor that and see where it's going, just so they're not throwing them out in the parking lot or something like that then too, okay? Thank you. Anybody else? Ma'am, Chad, come on up.
I'll just talk from here.
Yeah.
You can hear me. Just to piggyback on that, when I walk there every day.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday, I did a walk, and there were 10 semis, 3 cabs without semis.
Okay.
There were 2 trailers that were parked there with no cab on bricks. There was 7 box trucks. 5 of them are by K&R Transportation Service, or R&K, and I know those guys come in the morning, park their car, grab a truck, and take off.
Okay.
There is a piggyback trailer there that has an opening, and I just worry about that where somebody could climb in there, or, it's a double trailer, but the back is completely open and one.
Okay.
You just squeeze in there and go inside. So they might want to especially look at something like that. But,
Understood. Lieutenant Emick's making notes on this too, so we'll take a look at that.
yeah, so that's basically it.
Hey, Jan, I know you don't want to take credit all the time for it, but thank you for doing what you do. You keep our community very clean. Jan, every morning, she walks down Cicero Avenue, straightening the place out. You're wonderful. Thank you very much for doing that. But, go ahead. Did you want to say something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Actually, I live next to, those are my 3 neighbors.
Okay.
We've been there 20 years. They've been there 40 and 30. My same concern is the trucks as well.
Yeah.
We hear them all night. Sometimes I can't even sit out there because I could hear everything. I'm trying to listen to TV out there. They're so loud, but that's one concern. My other concern is, you probably already know, I sent an email regarding our fence that came down a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's not only our fence, it's like the whole fence is rotten.
Oh,
So if
I know.
you push it, it's going to go down. Like the whole fence is going to come down.
So when you sent me that, because I live on Laverne down by 119th, so I went back there the same weekend, I took a look, and we did make contact with Home Depot, with the management company for the property, and they are going to be fixing that and stuff into it. I was back there taking pictures of it and everything else, so I did see a couple of sections that are coming down. Also, with regard to the new proprietors, when they come in, they are going to be, we put it, I believe, Mike, were you here for the meeting with the new people that are buying that property? I think we got them replacing that fence too, like on the side anyway, down 121st place or whatever. I think we included that, right?
Extra tall, too.
Yeah, it's going to be a little taller,
Oh, great.
that kind of thing,
Okay.
yeah, too. But it's
Okay.
going to be a new product. We were worried about the interchange where it met the homes. We're working all that out and stuff. But with regard to the wooden fence that's fallen apart,
Yes.
that's been addressed, and they said they're going to take care of that and stuff, yeah, too.
Do you know also about, we got a bunch of weed trees now. They're trees. They're not weeds, it's trees. All over our fence, like in between the chain fence and the wooden fence that's coming off.
Really?
There's a bunch of trees growing down. Now they're going to our side. I mean, there's a lot of them. We
So-
have addressed this before, but nothing happened. But
So, again, I'll make a note of that right now, but I'll have Roger speak with management over there, because, again, I understand when they put up the Home Depot, they were responsible for putting up a privacy fence. Technically, you're not supposed to have a fence against a fence, and that's where those kind of things happen, yeah, too, because you can't get at that kind of stuff, you know? So, if, in the process of everything else we're doing here with them, I'm going to tell them they got to take those out. So,
please, and they left there was an auto auction.
yeah,
So they left the metal things that was holding their whatever fence they had. They left them on our side.
oh, I didn't know.
Those are very dangerous. We have a dog, we have a child, and I'm scared that something might happen. Yeah, so they left them on our side.
So I'm going to go back and I'll go back and kind of walk it with Roger just to be sure. Are you on Laverne, or are you on 121st place?
I'm on 121st.
Gotcha, okay.
4930. Right
Okay.
behind Home Depot.
Okay,
Where they are.
all right.
Yeah.
So let me go back with Roger, and we'll take a look at that firsthand so we know what we're looking at.
Okay, I guess that's it for me.
Okay.
That's it for me. You have-
Well, I
Sure.
when the trucks were running.
Yeah.
It was like at 12:30 in the morning. And the girl said, you know, okay, we'll dispatch it. And then nobody ever came out, so 2 o'clock, I tried to call again, and I got a busy signal, and I tried a little bit later, still got another busy signal, and found out the next day that they never sent anybody out.
I can't respond to that, but, what you call it, again, ma'am, let me, I'm going to meet with the chief tomorrow on it, and let's see what we can do about getting these vehicles out of there and stuff, because they don't belong there and stuff. I mean, certainly, like I said at the beginning, if they were staging is one thing, but like you folks are telling me something different. If they're actually, and like you were saying, Jan, if they're actually out there swapping their car for the truck, somebody's trying to run a business out of that thing and stuff here too, you know? So, all right, let me, ladies, thank you for your patience, but just give me a day or two, and I'll get back with you on that, okay? Thank you.
No.
Anybody else? All right, thank you very much for letting us know.
Somewhere else in Park.
We'll go on with the rest of the meeting. We'll start with standing committee reports, finance and IT. Trustee McLaurin.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a request for approval of a list of payroll dated May 30th of 2025, totaling $535,617.27. Next, I have a request for approval of a list of accounts payable dated June 2nd of 2025. From the recap, General Fund, $86,240.45. Road and Bridge, $181,515.85. MFT, $7,721.89. Pulaski TIF, $943.75. Water and Sewer, $705,048.50. Sanitary Sewers, $238.19. Heritage Complexes, $100,565.30, for a grand total all funds of $1,082,273.93. And then finally on the agenda, we have a request for approval of a settlement agreement with Forvis Mazars regarding the fiscal year 22 audit, subject to negotiating the terms and the approval of both the mayor and the village attorney. So I don't know if we have any additional information on that, or...
So I gave everybody in your packets as much information that we've had, and I'm just going to say we're very disappointed that the FY22 audit has lingered this long. We understand we lost our previous finance director. There was quite a few adjustments that need to be made as far as reconciliations with the new finance director that came in, where the auditor who did, they were under a different name before, but they did our 21 audit, but now that they got our 22, have been struggling with this for almost 3 years. And
Well, I say, and for them to claim, though, that the beginning balance wasn't right when they did the audit to begin with, so to come back and say, no, our beginning
I'm
numbers
agreeing
were
with you
wrong.
100%, trustee. And our attorney, Joe Kankar, and I have been working constantly on this, and Joe's been having conversations with this organization as well. And what you have in front of you in your packets was the consideration of a settlement agreement with them. That's not in stone. What I was asking the board for tonight is permission, or let's just say an approval, to have Joe and I continue negotiating with them to try and reach an amicable settlement for us to part ways. The big thing that we're looking for in this settlement is to get our data back, because everything we submitted to them, we need those numbers back. Now, the work product, I don't know that we even want back, because it's, anybody that's struggled this long, I don't want to say that we can definitively say it's accurate at the same time. So this is public information at some point, but this isn't finished yet, and that's what I'm asking the board at this time, is that, it might not get done tomorrow or the next day, but this is an ongoing negotiation that's taking place right now.
Yeah, so I mean, it's hard to, since we can't quantify it at this point in time, I don't know what kind of motion we need to make.
Well, like I said, we don't have to agree on it today. I can bring this back at another meeting. This was just to keep the conversation moving. We have engaged with someone else, a firm that's the board gave us approval on to engage with to get this work done. It's just that we want to be able to amicably try and find some sort of settlement here. This is a bad situation. I don't like this one bit.
But it seems to the agreement is that whatever's been paid has been paid, and then we just go our separate ways. They're going to give us the work,
Right,
but no other firm will touch their work.
right.
So we paid for what?
The billable hours that they engaged with and stuff, and I brought this up individually to everybody once before, that I didn't care for the way this whole process took place. I mean, again, when you've done our books before for us, there shouldn't be a forensic, and it almost come off that way, the way it was. So I don't want to say too much to jeopardize a breach scenario, but Joe is recommending that we settle.
On the recommendation, I would agree.
I'm sorry, sir, I couldn't hear.
I said on Joe's recommendation, I would agree.
Thank you. Trustees, any other questions? Certainly. I know this is new, Bill, and I know you're new with this and stuff, but I wanted to give everybody enough information in here to really understand what was taking place. And I did have a Zoom meeting with the organization a couple of weeks ago, and it didn't. The result didn't come out well. That's why I got Joe involved yet too. So Joe, our attorney Joe Kankar, is trying to help us with this right now. But Trustee Dalzell, thanks for what you were saying too, because I agree with you.
Mayor, the one question I would have is, when does this audit need to be completed before?
Just ASAP, as fast as we can get it done. And once this gets done, our 23 and 24s will fly even quicker and stuff then too. Because upstairs they've got everything staged. It's just that you're just waiting for us. And I actually know of other municipalities that kind of went through the same difficulties that are starting to move forward now too.
So there's no financial penalty from the state or anything?
We're trying to avoid that. That's why we're trying to get this done.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, trustees. Trustee McGowan, anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, thanks. We'll go to our fire committee report. Committee?
Thank you, Mayor. First, the Alsip Fire Department would like to thank Brian LaRoche and Alan Crawford from the local 218 Sprinkler Fitters Training Center for hosting the PV Stop presentations on May 12th. This was attended by 35 chief officers for the use of PV Stop for solar panel fires. Both Chief Stasinski and Steve Jansen from PV Stop presented. Also, from May 20th through the 22nd, the fitters hosted a drone class that was presented by IDOT and the Illinois State Police. Alsip firefighters attended this class to obtain their FAA licensing to move forward with our drone program. Chief, do you have anything to add?
No. Sprinkler Fair has been really great to us over the years. They always open up their facility. They take care of everything for us. That's all we have to do is just show up and they do the rest. So we've had a very good working relationship ever since I've been chief with them. And between Brian and Ellen, those guys are great. And even when Tom Collins was there. So I really appreciate what they do for us. The drone class, the coordinator of the drone class from IDOT, they were looking for a Chicagoland area without actually having to go into Chicago because of traffic. So that class typically can run up to $1,500 per person. So we got 3 people in it for free by agreeing to host it into our area. So I can't pass that up.
And are they going to get their 107?
Yes.
Right, and that is all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Chief. Next, we have the Police and Traffic Safety Report. Trustee Dalzell.
Nothing for this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Public Work and Boat Launch. Trustee Cahill.
Thank you, Mayor. First, we have the request approval to post the hiring of a Class 2 operator in the Public Works Department. Position will be posted internally in accordance with the AFSCME union contract for a period of 5 days before being advertised to the public. Second, the boat launch brought in $2,117 for the month of April and hosted 1 fishing tournament. And that is all I have, Mayor.
We got another fishing tournament coming up, Mike, when? Next week or the week after?
Next weekend, June 7th and 8th.
Yeah, 2 different groups come in or something like that. Great to see that they're coming in. We had over 48 boats about Memorial Weekend.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
Tournament on the 8th, we're expecting about 40 boats.
Another 40 boats coming in? Okay. Thank you. Trustee Cahill, you still under Trustee Dalzell's recommendation to
Nope.
talk like a pirate? You
Not
don't want
yet.
to do that?
Not
When you
yet.
want to report how many doubloons came in at the boat launch? Yeah. All right, thank you.
Someday.
All right. Next, we had the sewer and water report. Trustee Love?
Commissioner Karpinski would like to provide an update to the village's lead and copper sampling program.
Hi, good evening. Just another layer that the IEPA has put on the village here. I just wanted to read real quick, just a quick update, because I know from talking to the different school districts in town, there's been a little bit of confusion. So pursuant to the requirements established by the IEPA, the village of Alsip Water Department is now subject to updated lead monitoring protocols for both schools and child care facilities. Specifically, the water department is mandated to collect and analyze drinking water samples from 3 educational or child care facilities each calendar year. So this sampling schedule will continue annually until all 11 eligible schools and child care facilities have been tested for lead in accordance with the EPA. As part of these requirements, I've completed and submitted the lead monitoring inventory list to the IEPA ahead of the May 15th, 2025 deadline. This inventory identifies all applicable schools and child care facilities and serves as the foundation for the ongoing monitoring schedule. This initiative is part of the IEPA's broader effort to ensure the safety of drinking water in environments serving children. The Alsip Water Department remains committed to full regulatory compliance and to maintaining transparency and public trust throughout the duration of this program. So we're just required to grab more samples at schools and child care facilities, but this is a separate program from our regular lead and copper program.
So are you currently doing that right now?
I submitted the inventory list to the IEPA and am waiting for their response.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure we're going to have to grab at least 3 samples from the schools this year. The confusion was that the schools in town already do their own lead and copper testing, but they do that through the Illinois Department of Public Health, where we, as the suppliers of water from the village, we have to grab a separate set of samples, and we report to the IEPA for that.
All right.
So
you're reporting to the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. Yep. They're reporting to the Illinois Department of Public Health.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
We're testing for the same thing.
Testing for the same thing. But that's okay. I mean, these are just 2 different entities, both government
It is
entities.
government.
Pardon me?
It is government.
It is. That's what I'm saying. No, it's
Right.
just, apparently nobody's talking to each other. That's how I was starting to go with that, yeah. Okay.
So,
Yeah, Andy, please, obviously, I know you what you were doing, but please stay up on that to make sure we're compliant.
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, trustee, you had another item?
Yes, the 2024 Consumer Confidence Report is now available to view on the Village of Alsip website. Residents and customers should be receiving the 2024 CCR via mail in the next couple of weeks. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Andy, you want to elaborate on that, the Consumer Confidence Report?
Yeah, so the 24 edition is available online. There will be paper copies available at Village Hall, the library, and the township office as soon as I get them from the printing shop. And every resident and customer will be receiving one via mail this year too. So it will not be on their water bill. It will be a separate mailing to their residence or address.
Okay. Thanks, Andy. And we have no lead service lines in our town and stuff like that either?
Nope, no lead service lines. Everything on the CCR is pretty status quo. There's no significant changes this year. There's just a little bit of additional language that we were required to add this year, but it's there was no violations and no issues with anything. So
Good to hear. Good job. Yep. Thank you. Trustee Love, anything else?
That's all, Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Building and Health. Trustee Parada?
Thank you, Mayor. I have no report this evening, but I would like to follow up on the health inspector interviews that took place last week. Do we have any updates?
Yeah, I heard actually at lunchtime today. They made a job offer to a person, and I will have them chime in with the committee, so we'll be doing that probably tomorrow. and they said they're going to process a background check and so forth. So yes, they did find a good candidate, and they made an offer to that person.
All right, very good. That's good to hear. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Next, Human Resource and Insurance Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. No report this evening.
Okay. All right, thank you. Special committee reports. We'll start with Economic Development. Trustee Love.
Nothing to report this evening, Mayor.
Okay. We've got a meeting coming up next week, so I might have more to share after. I don't have any information yet, and then some more development coming up in town.
Very good, thank you.
Mayor, do we have any updates on TBK? They were supposed to have their opening in May.
Yeah, they were supposed to have it mid-May. No, Trustee, I do not have anything on Taco Burrito King, but...
They're working every day.
Yeah, they're over there every day.
They're out there.
Yeah.
I see them when I'm at work.
You know what, though? Let me make a quick note on that Taco Burrito King. And, yeah, I'll get back with you folks on that.
Sounds good.
Okay. Village Properties, Trustee McGlawhorn.
No report this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Finish up then with ordinance and legislation, Trustee Prada.
No report this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Planning and Zoning and Licenses, Committee.
I'll take that one, Mayor. I have a request for approval of a list of licenses dated May 19th of 2025 through May 30th of 2025. And that's all I have this evening, Mayor.
I think they get a hearing coming up too, right?
Yeah, there
Did you
is
get one of
a
those?
hearing coming up on June 11th related to the property at 12549 South Laramie, requesting a special use for truck repair.
All right, that's back near the boat launch back there. Okay. Thank you. And did anybody have any presentations, petitions, or communications they wanted to share? None? Did anyone want to remove anything from the consent agenda? None? Can I get a motion then to establish the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call number 1 to establish consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee McGlawhorn?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy is absent. Trustee Parada?
Yes.
Trustee Cahill?
Yes.
Trustee Love?
Yes.
Motion carries to establish consent agenda.
Can I get a motion then to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call number 2 to approve consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee McGlawhorn?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy is absent. Trustee Parada?
Yes.
Trustee Cahill?
Yes.
Trustee Love?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve consent agenda.
Thank you very much. Did anybody have any unfinished business they want to talk about? Any new business? None? Can I get a motion then to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Time now is 8:14, and thank you for being with us. And certainly to the residents, folks, thanks for letting us know about some of the issues. And Lieutenant Emick, and my office will talk tomorrow, and we'll try and get some resolve out of this right away, okay? Okay.